program started as a product development, what's our next airplane, and it was originally going to be a derivative of the 767.
We thought that's what the airlines wanted, and then after about a year, the program figured out, and everybody figured out this is not going to work, and we morphed into this 777.
It hit the spot. I mean, it was the right airplane at the right time.
The airplane was a winner right from the start.
So it's exciting to see what the customer's expectation was and how that expectation with the reality of the airplane really grew and what the airplane could do.
A lot of great memories. First flight of the 777 was a great day. It was probably the most memorable day that I remember at the Boeing company. Even though I didn't fly the airplane.
You're so focused on doing everything right and not being the one that makes a mistake that you don't have time to think about a lot of it at that moment, other than whoopee, it flies.
I worked with John. John hired me. I worked with Frank. I worked with Susanna. And all of a sudden, I was going to be able to be somebody that was going to be in that very esteemed company. And it was a huge responsibility. Obviously, I love the airplane. I don't see how you cannot love the 777.
Right now, it's the best airplane ever made. That's my feeling. All of the Boeing airplanes are great, but it's hard to beat the 777.
I had the expectation that it would be hard to maneuver around the sky, and it was the most nimble, responsive airplane I had ever flown.
So she speaks for herself.
From before first flight till today, people are extremely proud to have worked on the airplane, no matter what their role was.
And we always made time for everybody to come up in the flight deck and take a look. And the pride of our employees pointing out what part they had made, what piece they had played, was really one of my fond memories.
The 777 was hugely significant. And I think it's a testament to the people that built the airplane, that engineered the airplane, that flew the airplanes. Really, when you think about it, it's a testament to the people of Boeing.
1,000th airplane. It's hard to believe there's 1,000 of those out there. It seems like just yesterday we were doing first flight.
But the potential it has is almost limitless.
You nourish an airplane throughout its life. It's never done growing. It's like a tree in many respects. It's never a finished product. It keeps going. And you take care of it, nurture it, and it keeps giving good things back.
Flight. It's evolving. How? Let's start with entirely new wings. Wings that go beyond conventional thinking and span, using composites to achieve unconstrained length, curves, and the highest efficiency. Wings with a simple fold that ensures they always fit everywhere they go. Next, there's an engine. Not just any engine, an engine of hyper-efficient carbon composite fan blades, of all new highly advanced materials. What does that do? It delivers the world's most fuel-efficient commercial jet engine ever. Along with wing and other efficiencies, it helps propel every 777X flight with up to 12% less fuel per seat than any competing aircraft. Any. And it's much kinder to the blue skies you fly through, too. Then there's the tail, the nacelle, the raked wingtip. All exclusive technologies that add up to efficiency. What else makes it great? A cabin designed to captivate. A cabin with cathedral-like ceilings, with more space to create amazing experiences that surprise and delight. This cabin isn't just called extra wide, it is extra wide. Future airline prosperity resides in an aircraft family. 2 airplanes purpose-built to optimize long-haul networks to comfortably take you where you want to go, non-stop. 1 airplane to go as far as its competition more efficiently, while carrying tons more cargo, literally. Or with just passengers and luggage, go the distance, significantly. Then there's another plane to help airlines win in every market they fly at. An airplane in a class all by itself, both engineered to achieve class-leading reliability, meaning you depart on time, every time. Who else will provide such groundbreaking aircraft innovation? No one. That's why the Boeing 777X is the evolution of flight. It's airline prosperity embodied in wings, in blades, in comfort, in space, in stars. It's the future of flight unfolding.
It was an unprecedented display of demand for a new airplane. Leaders of some of the world's top airlines announced at the Dubai Air Show a record-breaking number of orders and commitments for Boeing's newest jet, the 777X.
We are here discussing once again a revolutionary aeroplane by Boeing that will transform the aviation industry.
I'm pleased to announce that Emirates will order 150 Boeing 777X aircraft.
The numbers are staggering. Emirates commits to 150. Etihad Airways signs up for 25. Lufthansa is in for 34. And Qatar Airways commits to 50. 4 aviation powerhouses combining for 259 airplanes worth nearly $100 billion at list price. No other airplane in history has racked up so much interest so quickly.
I am pleased to announce today that Boeing is launching the Boeing 777X. Our sales teams have been engaging with customers around the world about this airplane, and the response has been, quite frankly, overwhelming.
With the 777X, Boeing is building on the popular and profitable 777 family. Boeing engineers are developing an all-new, high-efficiency composite wing, while GE Aviation is designing the most efficient commercial engine ever built. These and other advanced technologies will make the 777X the largest and most efficient twin-engine jetliner in the world, using 12% less fuel than its competitor.
The technological design of the 777X is innovative and impressive. To touch on one aspect, the wing design is extraordinary.
There will be 2 variants, the 777-9X and the 777-8X. With the 9X, airlines will be able to carry more passengers, more than 400 depending on an airline's configuration. With the 8X, airlines can fly farther, with an incredible range of more than 9,300 nautical miles. The 777X will literally open up the world of possibilities for any operator.
This airplane will do more things for them than any other airplane in the world. It's unique in terms of its capabilities.
We're looking at ultra-long haul flying with improved technologies, improved economics, and improved profitability.
While big airplane deals are usually about the future, the record commitment for the 777X is also about the present. Namely, it's a vote of confidence for the current 777s.
It's an extremely good airplane to fly. Popular with consumers, popular with the accountants for the bottom line, great for flight deck and cabin crew. So it's a very good machine.
Production of the 777X is set to begin in 2017, with first delivery targeted for 2020.
In the history of aviation, there are stars and there are superstars. The 777 is definitely a superstar.
777 has been a phenomenally successful airplane. It's the best-selling airplane in its class.
It's really a triumph of what happens when great engineering and great design come together.
Through an iterative process, working with engineers and designers and production people to come up with a solution that meets a whole broad set of requirements.
There are many things that an airline needs to be successful. They need a fabulous product that really balances all of the technical requirements like fuel efficiency, low emissions, with the really important interior aspects. They want a product that's really appealing to the flying public. Because it has the widest cabin interior, it allows the 777 to seat more passengers than any other aircraft in its class. And that allows airlines to customize the interior to create really exceptional and differentiated experiences for the flying passenger. Environmentally, the wider cabin creates an advantage as well.
More seats means lower fuel consumption on a per passenger basis, which is more friendly for the environment. The ability of the 777 to generate revenue doesn't just end with the cabin story. The airplane can carry over 200 cubic meters of cargo, so the airline can bring all the passenger bags and goods on the airplane and an unrivaled quantity of revenue cargo.
So you've got more passenger revenue capability, more cargo revenue, and you've got more point-to-point routes. Simply put, the 777 delivers more to airlines and the passengers. Over 35 million flight hours. That's an incredible statistic. And that shows that the 777 is really proven for the long haul.
We work with the latest tools and techniques and go through detailed iterations between the design requirements, the aesthetic requirements, the engineering requirements, the production requirements to come up with the best all-around solution.
Our latest model, the 777-300ER, has an amazing 99.5% on-time reliability. That means it takes off on time practically every time. The reason we focus so much on getting the design right and the build right is to ensure that our customers, the airlines, and their customers, the flying public, have the most incredible experience every time they step on the 777.
Wednesday in Farnborough, and Boeing continues to make strides with another big step forward with Qatar Airways. Part of the largest product launch in commercial jetliner history by dollar value, Qatar Airways finalized an order for 50 777-9X airplanes, announced a commitment for an additional 50 777-9X purchase rights, and announced an intent to order 4 777 freighters.
This totals an order for 100 of the Boeing 777X, which will become the backbone of Qatar Airways fleet, and represents the largest aircraft order in our history for a single aircraft type.
Stepping along with its larger sibling, the 737 MAX celebrated a new customer as Hainan Airlines committed to purchase rights on 50 737 MAX 8 airplanes.
And 20 years we are so successful, and all the success things we have done, we're definitely part of it because the Boeing support.
Another 737 order, this for 2 next-generation 737-700C airplanes from Air Algérie. Able to alternate between passenger and cargo layouts, the airplanes will provide the carrier with increased flexibility. MG Aviation finalized an order for 2 additional 787-9 Dreamliners. The leasing company now has 4 787-9s in its portfolio. At Farnborough, customers who have been attracted by the 787-9 value and efficiency are now being drawn in by an opportunity to see the newly certified airplane.
8,300 nautical miles.
For the Boeing test and evaluation teams charged with guiding the 787-9 through certification testing, the airshow is a chance to show off the company's newest production airplane.
Nice to be able to talk to suppliers and customers and talk to them about how great the testing was and how fun this airplane really is, and that it really is ready for, customers to enjoy the airplane.
Just a stone's throw across the tarmac, another developmental success was on display, the Maritime Surveillance Aircraft, or MSA.
2 years ago, we announced the idea at Farnborough, and in those short 2 years, we came up with a design, we selected the airplane, we did the structural modifications with our partners, Field Aviation, integrated all the software from P8 in with the new sensors from MSA, went through installation and checkout just a few weeks ago, and came here to Farnborough for the debut. You look around the tarmac here, there's a lot of airplanes people are used to seeing. There's only a few that are brand new, and ours is one of them. Big splash here at Farnborough.
In 2012, the Farnborough Air Show was filled with promise for Boeing. Now, in 2014, head-turning orders and eye-catching aircraft are proving that Boeing can build something better.
The 777 is very, very popular. It absolutely dominates its niche in the market. The original production system for 777 was never designed for more than 7 airplanes a month, and we're at 8.3 airplanes a month. So the team is really focused on how do you get to not only the next rate up, but in a very short period of time. FlexTrack is an automated piece of equipment. What's really cool about it is that it simply just attaches to the airplane body. It's a highly flexible piece of equipment. It literally sticks to the outside skin of the airplane and it moves it along like a tank. The actual equipment then moves into position and then drills the hole right where you want it. And it drills it the exact same every single time. Key savings in automation: quality, safety, and productivity. In quality, you tend to see about an 80 to 90% improvement. In safety, you see about a 40 to 60% improvement. almost immediately in repetitive motion type injuries or pain and strain type injuries. And then you tend to see productivity gains ranging anywhere from 80 to 90%. What we really envision is to really have the mechanics focus on the technology, maintaining and troubleshooting the areas that are going to be unique to the customer requirements. Systems, interiors, all that really cool stuff that keeps you healthy as an employee. You know, our workforce is the bread and butter of making this production system work. It is the talent, it's the innovation, it's the years of experience, it's the capability. Those are things that are very difficult to duplicate. And I couldn't be more proud of this production team.
Volar está evolucionando. ¿Cómo? Comienza con alas completamente nuevas, alas que van más allá del pensamiento convencional y se extienden usando compuestos para lograr alcance y curvas para mayor eficiencia, sin restricciones. Alas con un doblez simple que garantizan encajar siempre a donde quiera que vayan. Luego está el motor, pero no cualquier motor. Un motor con hélices de compuestos súper eficientes, de materiales todos nuevos, altamente avanzados. ¿Y qué hace eso? Ofrece el motor de combustible para jet comercial más eficiente del mundo. Junto con el ala y otras eficiencias, ayuda a impulsar cada vuelo del 777X con hasta 12% menos combustible por asiento que cualquier otro avión de la competencia. Cualquier otro. Y también es mucho más agradable con el cielo azul a través del que viajas. Luego está la cola, la cubierta de la turbina, el ala. Todas las tecnologías exclusivas que se suman a la eficiencia. ¿Y qué más lo hace grandioso? Una cabina diseñada para cautivar. Una cabina con techos de catedral, con más espacio para crear maravillosas experiencias que sorprenden y deleitan. Esta cabina no solo se llama extra ancha, es extra ancha. El futuro próspero de una aerolínea reside en su flota de aviones. 2 aviones especialmente diseñados para optimizar tramos de largo recorrido que le llevarán cómodamente donde desee ir. Directo. Un avión para volar lejos como el de la competencia más eficientemente, mientras lleva más toneladas de carga literalmente. O con solo pasajeros y equipaje, logra más distancia significativamente. Luego hay otro avión para ayudar a las aerolíneas a ganar en cada mercado que vuele. Un avión único en su clase. Ambos con ingeniería para lograr mayor confiabilidad en el mercado. Lo que quiere decir que usted saldrá a tiempo todo el tiempo. ¿Quién más podrá proveer dicha innovación en aviones? Nadie. Es por eso que el Boeing 777X es la evolución de volar. Es el éxito de la aerolínea en alas, en turbinas, en comodidad, en espacio, en estrellas. Es el futuro de volar, despegando.
If you think of an albatross or an eagle, and if you watch them fly, their wings are very curved up in the air. From an aerodynamic standpoint, this is the most optimized shape that increases aerodynamic lift. If you think about gliders, you look at that wing, it's all about staying in the air. And the 77X will have very much the same shape to it. The wing itself is almost 20% bigger when you compare the 777X to that area of current 777. So this wing being so long creates more lift. The folding wingtip is critical for the aircraft to operate with existing constraints at airports and taxiways, and it allows us to use the systems that exist today. So we were able to take what we learned from the 787 and apply it to this wing. The composite material allows more flexibility. This wing being so long, this airplane will love to fly.
So our target last year was improving the fuel efficiency on the 777-300ER by 2%. 2% seems like a fairly small number, right? But think about an Olympic sprinter. To shave off a few hundredths of a second, they'll wear ultralight shoes to reduce their weight. We've taken that same scientific approach toward making the airplane more efficient. For example, we literally have 15 to 20,000 washers throughout the airplane. If you can take the washers off and just have a bolt and the nut, you're saving the weight of 2 washers. That's 160 pounds. Replacing all 12 tires with the rubber technology, it's 110 pounds right there. By eliminating excess compounds and sealants on the wing, we saved another 100 pounds. One of the larger pieces is this tail skid. We were able to replace it with an electronic tail skid. So we've saved 24 pounds. Whether it's structure or aerodynamics, you always have improvements. The windows are perfectly smooth against the floor there. So now you can smooth that out. Flat.
An exciting day for Ethiopian Airlines as it takes its first Boeing 777-200LR. It's also the 900th 777 ever built. But before the celebrations can happen, there's a lot of work. The crew on the Everett flight line gets the airplane ready a few days before delivery.
Reviewing the engine front to back, make sure it's in a safe condition.
Dave Ruthier explains that safety and quality checks have to be complete.
We start with servicing. We do all the fuel, the air in the tires, air in the shock struts, all the hydraulic fluids. We check them out.
Was down about an inch lower.
In the cabin, technicians make sure the seats and the entertainment system work. And on the flight deck, systems are checked, while members of the flight crew get familiar with this Boeing 777-200LR.
All drawing specifications, everything has to be met.
With all the checks complete, the airplane is ready to deliver.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone.
On the morning before Boeing delivers an airplane, the final contracts are signed, and the airline makes the final payment.
Everything comes together here on delivery day. The customers are expecting everything to be accounted for.
The last formalities before the ceremonial keys are handed over to the proud CEO of Ethiopian Airlines.
It's a very good airplane. It's a very comfortable configuration that we chose.
Your mobile phones to be switched off throughout the flight.
Just 2 days later, Ethiopian Airlines' newest airplane goes into service. Boeing's Randy Tinseth was on board the inaugural flight. The longest-range commercial airplane in the world is the only one capable of linking Washington, D.C. and Addis Ababa non-stop.
I just talked to the captain, and he told us that takeoff weight at the beginning of the flight was over 700,000 pounds, so the airline is truly using the unique capabilities of this 777-200LR.
12 and a half hours later, arrival in Addis Ababa. Crowds line up to greet the first Boeing 777-200LR for Africa.
Flying it over the African continent gives you a different feeling. Very proud moment, yeah.
Making history for Ethiopian Airlines.
You can't see it in real time, but if we speed up the video, you'll see the Boeing 777 production line is on the move. Earlier this year, Boeing put the entire U-shaped manufacturing process into motion. Mechanics install parts and lay down wiring as a tug pulls the airplane sections along the factory floor. It might be inching along, but the movement goes a long way.
It brings a sense of urgency to the floor because if you have a problem on the airplane and the mechanic asks for the aircraft to be stopped, we would bring everybody down to the floor, see what they can do to resolve it to get the airplane back up and moving again.
This is the final leg of a long journey for this program. To see why, we'd have to travel back several years. This is how the factory used to look, like a parking lot. Planes stayed in the same place until one jet is completed and rolled out the factory. Every other plane then moves up a spot.
We tend to have a lot of equipment and parts showing up to support that position, and then if you don't use them, you've got to move them to the next position.
And then we had to shuffle all our stuff. And a lot of the battle was trying to find all the stuff from the night before where it was put.
In 2005, encouraged by the success of the 737 team, which launched a moving line and shaved days off the final assembly process, the 777 program decided to give movement a try. Mechanic Mary Mason remembers there were skeptics.
Because we're used to the old ways.
Employees spent time studying the flow in the factory and strategized on how all the teams would work together under the new system. A year later, Boeing started moving parts of the line forward, and it hasn't looked back since. Here, Ken Moran is working on the main landing gear doors, while the plane moves at about 1.5 inches a minute.
I'm about ready to move again, so I just moved my pad, and I have to keep pace, keep up.
The company also changed the way it handled tools and parts. Machinists used to have to walk to different places in the factory to find all the equipment and parts they needed.
No longer do we have to do that.
Now, tooling teams assemble all the supplies onto carts that they roll out to designated spots along the airplane.
The visual on the floor is very clear. You've got less clutter, very clean. It drives you to have everything in its place during the process because your mechanics are moving along with the airplane as it's moving and you're bringing the equipment as you need it.
You can't argue with the time savings. Where it used to take 26 days to assemble a 777, it now only takes 17 days.
What we have to do now is build the airplane and make sure that what we do is right for our customers. It's going to work, and it's here to stay.
If you're conscious about your weight, you know what this brand new Boeing 777 is feeling right now.
The airplane is getting on a scale to be weighed, an important requirement before any delivery. You see, weight is a sensitive issue, not just for people, but for airplanes too.
If you let up, you'll find that the changes creep up and the weight will start coming back in.
Paul Van Genhoven is a weight watcher. He and his fellow weight engineers have the hefty responsibility of tracking the 777's weight. The lighter the airplane is, the lower the fuel burn and carbon emissions. While the 777 leads the industry for fuel efficiency, new regulations and customer requests constantly add weight to all airplane designs.
On some airplanes, we've seen upwards of 20 pounds a month just from these changes, and so that, obviously adds up to over 200 pounds a year.
On the Boeing 777 line, a small team of engineers is always looking around the airplane for weight savings.
This is a speaker drive module. It drives the speakers in the cabin. The previous design only drove 2 speakers, and this new design will drive 4. So by doing that improvement, we can reduce the number of speaker drive modules by almost 50%.
That example alone saves about 40 pounds or 18 kilograms. Other examples include picking a new type of insulation to save 300 pounds.
Our goals and objectives grow each year, so it's really all about making this product even better than it is today.
The team is winning the battle of the bulge. In the past 5 years, they've been able to take more than 500 pounds off the 777-300ER's design. It's a loss they're very proud of.
As a designer, it's the challenge of saying I can do better, I can improve it.
It makes me feel good because obviously the lighter we keep the airplane, the more of it we're going to sell to our customer because it delivers value to them.
This Boeing 777 is capable of the same cruising speed as every other 777, but it will now be able to fly certain routes faster, allowing airlines like Air New Zealand to connect distant cities like never before.
We have to take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes off some routes on some days. It depends on the weather.
How's it possible? Captain David Morgan, Air New Zealand's chief pilot, explains with his airline's popular Auckland to Los Angeles route. On some days, because of wind conditions, Captain Morgan can save time and fuel by veering to the south on the way to Los Angeles. But he couldn't because of a rule requiring twin-engine airplanes to stay within 180 minutes of an alternate airport. The rule, known as ETOPS, or Extended Operations, effectively created no-fly zones over the Pacific Ocean and elsewhere. Aviation experts say the rule existed because of concerns about engine reliability, even though the facts proved otherwise.
When the first jet engine came out, 900 shutdowns per 1 million hours. Now it's 1 per 1 million hours. Colossal reliability.
So the Boeing team went to work, sifting through millions of flight records to show that flights on 2 engines is just as safe as those on 4 engines. After months of review and analysis, the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has agreed, giving long-range Boeing 777s approval to fly up to 330 minutes away from an alternate airport. It means those no-fly zones will disappear, clearing the way for airlines like Air New Zealand to fly faster, more efficient routes.
The aeroplane will fly a more straight line between the city pairs, and that's good for the environment. It means less fuel being burnt, less carbon dioxide going into the atmosphere, but it's also good for the customer because the flight's going to be shorter and they're going to get there sooner.
With extended ETOPS, the Boeing 777 can now cover literally every route on Earth.
We've always said at Boeing that passengers want to fly from where they are to where they want to go without intermediate stops, and this ETOPS gets us that next step. For point-to-point service, we can now fly from any point on the globe to any point on the globe.
Backed in and ready for an extreme paint job. A chrome-free primer served as the base coat. Then it was all about the black. Air New Zealand placed the order to turn this 777 into a flying tribute to its national rugby team, the world champions called the All Blacks. How fitting then that nearly every inch of this 300ER would get the dark shade treatment.
I think it looks amazing.
Dressed in their black best, 2 standouts from the team, Andy Ellis and Kieran Reed, were on hand at Boeing's factory in Everett, Washington to unveil the plane, the world's largest commercially operated aircraft painted black.
And taking it around the world and showing it to the world, and it's just
you know, a really proud moment for New Zealand.
Beautiful. Earlier in the day, the players got an up-close look at the 777 production line, guided by a Boeing employee with a special interest in their sport.
Currently, I play on an over 40s rugby team in the Seattle area. I know, I don't look 40, but we play in a Canadian league, so I've been playing rugby for 30 years.
Miles Kate was joined by others eager to meet the world champs. Reed and Ellis were impressed with the turnout and Boeing's plane process. They learned more about the planes that make up Air New Zealand's fleet.
The pride that New Zealand as a country has in their rugby team, the pride they have in their national airline and in each other, it's just terrific.
That pride now displayed on a 777 with a spiral symbol called Koru painted on the tail. It represents growth and strength. The New Zealand silver fern drapes down the side of the plane.
Little old New Zealand having a black plane that's going to fly all over the world, and Kiwis who are living all over the world hopefully will be able to see it and feel a sense of pride as well.
It's what goes into making an airplane environmentally progressive. A coat of non-chrome primer. It has fewer pollutants than standard primer, and it cuts down on the cost of handling and disposing of those materials. Time-lapse video shows the chrome-free coating process on this 777 for Air New Zealand.
You have to be relentless about it. You know, no one's going to change the environment overnight, but you've got to look at everything and you've just got to keep it to become your way of life.
It's the first airline to benefit from Boeing's plan, combining 10 environmentally conscious initiatives on a single plane.
So working with Air New Zealand, they're very environmentally forward. They're very enthusiastic about working with us.
One approach comes with a pull of this lever. During testing, crews have to frequently flush out the system and then replenish it with clean water.
We used to dump every 3 days, so that's 2 water tanks of water for a 777 every 3 days.
However, lab testing found they could safely extend that to 7 days because bacteria levels were so low. That should save nearly 1,600 gallons of water for 777s built in the coming year.
Everybody's walking the same line in terms of thinking grain and how everything we do daily affects our environment.
Boeing is also cutting back on engine run tests. Since engine maker GE already performs them, Boeing found it could safely scale back and save 800 gallons of fuel per plane.
Such a big team effort because it incorporates everyone from the beginning to the end and after.
We look at all the little things we can do along the way and they'll add up, and that's what I would encourage everyone at Boeing to keep doing as well.
It's an effort that can save money, time, and have less of an impact on the environment, making an already efficient 777 even more so.
Checklist. Oxygen set, tested 100%. Flight instruments, heading is good with altimeter 3045. Parking brake is released and out.
Every pilot I've talked to loves flying the airplane. As soon as you strap that airplane on, it's like you're a part of it. I mean, it is the finest built airplane that I've ever had the privilege to fly. It's second to none in terms of commercial aviation, and that exemplifies the quality of the people who work on this airplane every single day.
I've been working for Boeing for just going on right at 15 years.
Since 1989.
23 years.
Going on 25 years.
5.5 years now.
It'll be 24 years in June.
I remember flying a foam model airplane off of the treehouse my dad built.
Ever since I was young, it was my bicycle, you know, playing with that, taking it apart, and trying to make it better, and then it moved to motorcycles and then cars.
I like working with my hands. I like building things. I always have, ever since I was little. I think this is something that is an art form.
I couldn't have been 4 years old, but I remember to this day flying that airplane over and over again, making my dad run in the yard, grab it, bring it back to the treehouse.
I had an auto mechanics class when I was a senior in high school. I showed up on Monday, didn't show back up till Friday. And he says, welcome back, time for the test. I missed 2 questions on his test. He got me a job out in town at a garage. He said, ain't nothing I can teach you.
I think working on airplanes, you get people who are fascinated by airplanes. When an airplane flies over, you can tell the airplane people because they look up.
The actual spirit of Boeing is the men and women who build the airplane. The mechanics, the sealers, the plumbers, the electricians, the riggers, the functional test guys.
These folks are the best in the world at what they do.
And they will perform at whatever level is required to deliver the perfect airplane.
The people who build all of these airplanes are incredibly smart, incredibly dedicated.
I see a lot of artists and musicians working in these jobs, guys that like things that are concrete and practical, but at the same time, they maybe think a little bit abstract. There's a lot of creativity involved with these individuals.
It's like an orchestra, you know, you've got all of these people moving in unison. A rivet gun, bucket and bar, a drill motor, those are the instruments, those are actual instruments.
It's a crazy orchestration, putting this airplane together, joining it, and in 3 days, getting it ready for someone to actually put systems on it.
When you look at what it takes to put this product together, it's the people applying their hands, their knowledge, their desire to be successful to the actual parts, tools, and engineering of this product to bring it all together.
Almost everything that we do is hands-on.
It's all hand-driven, hand-done, hand-worked. It's built by hands. It's not a soulless machine that's building it.
Every little bit, every little part, however small, is important to what we're doing.
The Boeing Company is actually its own little city within a city.
It's the world's largest building by volume. But you walk in here and it's really awe-inspiring, and the airplanes are awe-inspiring, and their stories tall.
You know, I think back on this program, it was exhilarating to build the first airplane. It's equally as exciting to deliver the 1,000th.
There's no reason why we shouldn't see 2,500 or 3,000 of these large airplanes in service in the next 15 years.
Some of these people that are here on the 777 have been here since the very first airplane, and they will be here for the 1,000th airplane coming through.
It's pretty impressive to know that we've been working on 1,000 of these airplanes. It's almost unimaginable.
There is no doubt in my mind this is one of the finest teams on earth.
There's a huge level of talent here at Boeing.
It's an art, and we're artists.
We build the best airplane in the air, and we intend to keep doing it.
When you take pride in your work, you enjoy working.
If there wasn't any passion building this airplane, it wouldn't get done.
How can you not love building one of these? I love building airplanes.
I like to come to work. I like to keep the cogs on this machine rolling.
Every single one of those airplanes has a piece of everybody that's ever done any job on that.
I came to the realization that I was a third-generation aerospace worker.
My mom, my dad, my cousins, my uncle.
I still want to be able to say to my friends or to somebody in the airport, that is something that I built. That is my airplane.
It was nice to say, hey, I put that wing on there. That one's mine.
And I have kids, and when we're driving in the car, we see an airplane flying up in the sky. What one's that, Dad? And I could have just pointed out to them and tell them, did you paint that? And I said, yeah, I did.
There's a lot of mom and dads, a lot of brothers and sisters that are flying on these airplanes that are counting on you to do the best.
When you can be part of a product like the 777 that changes the world, that allows regions, countries, companies to grow and prosper, that's huge.
I think the ability to bring people face to face, handshake to handshake, hug to hug, has an immediate impact in the shape of the world.
That completes the before engine start, and we are ready to start engine number 2. Roger.
It's a big day at Boeing's Everett, Washington plant.
The ultimate measure of success
in the airplane making business is when you are able to reach the 1,000 mark.
And this airplane is sure to let you know just how special it is. Take a look at the paint job on this brand new Boeing 777-300ER as it rolls out of the paint hangar. The airplane will soon be delivered to Dubai-based airline customer Emirates.
They are by far our largest customer, and it is only fitting that they take delivery of this wonderful airplane.
At a ceremony, Boeing team members and airline VIPs gathered to mark the milestone.
And it's a great day, I must say, and to commend really the team from Boeing who've been working all those years to produce such a beautiful aircraft.
The 777 is the backbone of the Emirates fleet. The airline says it has steadily grown with the use of the wide-body jet, operating all 6 members of the 777 family.
We've been right behind it ever since it started. It will be the workhorse of the Emirates fleet. So versatile.
The day before the event in Everett, Emirates marked another milestone by starting its non-stop service between Seattle and Dubai on, yes, a 777. With 102 already in Emirates' fleet and orders for many more, the airline projects that by 2020 it will operate 200 777s. The team that builds the airplane for elite airline customers all over the world says the 1,000th just makes them feel good.
It symbolizes an immense commitment to great products, on-time delivery, and really striving to meet our customers' demands.
And if the tail number on this 777 tells you anything, it's that everyone involved has something to be proud of.
It looks good, and if it looks good, it flies good. That's what we say in the business, and this one looks really, really good.